Just checking it was recording. Good take, that. I'm happy with it. First things first, next week, as of the 19th of September, BXRRELL are playing 4 gigs in the UK. We're supporting a band called 2 Year Break, playing Newcastle, Manchester, Brighton, Southampton. And you're getting tickets and you're bringing a mate. And you're going to have a very good time. We will be playing, I reckon we'll be playing all of the singles that are already out, especially the new one. I'm plugging that as well right now, Tattoo. Have you listened to it yet? If you haven't, I'd be very disappointed. Not only did I contribute heavily to the writing of that song, but it's my cinematic debut as a cinematographer, a director, a producer, an editor, a colour grader. I do all these fancy things in this room for our lovely YouTube videos, but this is the first kind of like professional project that I've released to the world. And no one said anything like, who's this knobhead who's filmed the video for the first time? So I think I've got away with it, to be honest. I'm quite happy. Gab's in it. She also co-directed it, you know. It was mainly me. She chipped in a bit, but she produced it and she acted in it opposite Soph. So it was good. Little micro crew, just the 3 of us. Go and watch it, right? And then get tickets and you can see it live. Have a little cry. It's a sad one. Anyway, back to business. Little Wing by Jimi Hendrix. Insane amount of detail in this. What would you call it? Should we call it an intro solo? It's not really a solo, is it? It's just an intro to an incredible song with lots of double stops and hammer-ons. But yeah, private student of mine. First name's fine, Ian. GDPR there, where you won't find Ian by just by his first name in this country, believe me. But yeah, Ian requested this, and I had a version of it when I was younger that, again, similar to what I was saying about Ed King's playing Sweet Home Alabama, but I fell out with myself. I played it. What is that? You knob. That is awful. So many things that I think were kind of like cut corners or just like wrong note choices. So I worked it out in great detail. Now, in terms of me working out things in great detail, occasionally I get a little bit of shit in the comments. This one was all right, but someone was like, not a fan of holding tracing paper over guitar solos. Tracing paper, mate. I'll tell you something, this isn't nursery. We're not doing shapes for the first time, okay? We're working out very articulate, iconic guitar solos, riffs, intros, whatever. And I'm teaching them for free. Just remember that. For free. It's very important that. Okay, you don't have to pay. But you should. You bloody should, believe me. But yeah, let's equate it to going into an English literature lesson as a 12-year-old. And the teacher goes, today we're doing Macbeth. And she opens the book and goes, I'm not going to read the text though, it's a load of fucking bollocks, I'll just make it up on the spot. This'll do. I can't think of any Macbeth quotes right now, Gab's going to kill me, but you know, fuck it, Shakespeare's a knob anyway, he's a fraud. No, you study the text accurately and then you get the most from that genius writer. You can take that with you and do with it what you want. Getting worked up, can't find the words. But do you see what I'm getting at? There's no ego here. It's not like I go, I've got the best lesson in this. I just like to challenge myself and my musical ear. If I work something out better than I did 2 years ago, I must have got better. I changed my mind about things. I go, you know what, that's a better way of doing it. Okay, actually that makes more sense. He's probably doing that. So, and then I teach it you for free. But yeah, what I think we'll do today with Little Wing is we will move through it fairly sharpish, and I'll play the stuff and you can see it up close. And anything that I think is imperative or important that I explain, I will. But I don't want it to be like a forensic lesson because we'll be here all day because there's quite a lot to it. So see what you think. We'll go through it slow. To get that percussive mute sound, you're just going to drape your fingers across strings. Multiple fingers works better because you're less likely to get harmonics then. 2, 3 points of contact on the string, doesn't matter where you place them. You're getting that kind of percussive, raspy mute. So do that, hit the 12s at the top, and then slap into that low open E. After that, you've got 2 more of those mutes. A, hammer on to the G string, and then we've got these double stop hammer-ons. So index finger across the 5th fret of the A and D, and then hammering on the 3rd finger on just the lower string. This happens a lot. And then here we're going to do the same moved up a string but picked. So hammer on, then pick. Next part goes like this. So this is like playing an open G5. I like to go root note, then open G. And then I do a hammer on pull off with the pinky, top 2 strings. So you bar in the 3rd fret of the B and the E. Then click the E, then hit this G, the fretted G now, so the open. And then we've got a little hammer on. We put the major 3rd back down now with the middle finger on the G string. And then you've got the perfect 4th going on with the pinky. Little hammer on and then picked. Back down to the root note. If you want to kind of brush the B string there, you get that nice like double stop thing going on between the G and the B strings. Next part goes like this. So you pretty much slide up a tone. Catch that root note now, an A with your thumb. Hammer on 5/7. A to G strings now, a little string skip. And what's important here is that you sustain this, I think. So, because you're creating an A minor sound, like sustained. And if you went like, it's too staccato, okay? So, and now we've got like a series of, like it's descending double stops. So start on the G and B on the 5, and you're gonna hammer on that 3rd finger to the lower note and then hit the lower note with the finger off. Okay, then move down a string, just hit the D. It's like a little grace note hammer on. Down a string again. This time what you're gonna do is double stop with just the lower string hammer on, but then hit the higher string after it. And then your thumb should still be kind of grabbing this A, 5th fret of the E at the bottom. You can hammer on from that to the 3rd finger and slide down. 2 open E's. We could have put the 2 open E's as the start of the next part, but I didn't want to. This is my lesson and I'm in charge. So we're whacking them on the end. Next part goes like this. So you could say that this is sort of born out of an E minor 7 shape, because it is. But you don't have to put this 3rd finger on if you don't want. It might feel more comfortable to some. I don't, because I can't be asked. So the one thing I am going to tell you to do, though, is prep the index finger with a bar from the 7 on the A to the B, because it makes it easier. Middle finger on the 8th fret of the B and pinky on the 10th fret of the B. That's going to be a little hammer on pull off. Then you're going to clip the G and then that E root note. So from the 2 open E's, I hit that root note on an upstroke because then it allows me to come into this next bit just with like staccato downs for authority. What's happening here, again, double stops, 7 and 7 on the A and D, pinky down on the lower string, 10th fret, 7 7 on the D and G, and then you just hammer on the 3rd finger to the 9, low note, off, back to the 10, and then the 7s. By bringing the pick back into the strings there, you can make it staccato. A lot of people think that to play staccato, you always have to release the pressure. Works, but I think bringing the picking hand back in, ready to pick the next note, is not talked about enough. It's just not talked about enough. What is that accent? It's just not talked about enough. That motion is what you need. Don't ask me about that voice. I've got my in-ear monitors again, so I'm shouting like your granddad. Shouting like your granddad who's good at guitar. But yeah. Just don't ask about that accent. Right, moving on. Bit of a handful, this section. And definitely one of the bits I was playing wrong. Completely wrong. I won't show you what I'm playing. It's embarrassing. It's not that embarrassing. It's just pathetic. So, up to B now. And B minor is kind of what you want on. It's not kind of what you want. It's exactly what you want on. We're going to go root note. And then the octave. And then you're going to put your pinky on the 9th fret of the high E, and it's giving you a minor 9. You can strum as much or as little of the top strings as you want. Move that up a semitone to the 10, back. Now this is the tricky bit. You're going to hammer on the index finger to the 10 on the B string. Weird. But it's very cool. Now what I have here is just a descending little, or 2 upstrokes coming back down the B minor chord. Before moving the hand position down a semitone, but making it a B flat major now. And you can just arpeggiate up that chord. Move it down 1 more fret, back to a minor chord. And you're going to go root note and then a stab of the DGB. So from here. Now, this is a right old stretch. Best thing to do, bar the D and G, 5th fret with the index finger, get that pinky on the 9 on the D. No hammer on or anything, just pick it as it is. 3rd finger on the 7 and the 5s. Move that index finger down to the A and the D. Pinky on the 8 now on the A. Then 3rd finger 7, okay? Descending. Back up to the D and the G. 5, 7, 5, and that's your index finger barring the D and G. And again, it's always that 3rd finger or pinky, whatever, going on the lower string. You don't actually need to move the index finger down there because you're always playing a higher note with the 3rd or the pinky. Anyway, after that, what I like to do is slide with the middle finger from A to B, then out. It does move to G now, but it moves in from below, right? And I don't like to do that with my thumb and go like that because it just feels like it never stopped. And I wanted a clean into the G, so what I do is middle finger. And then you've got division between this finger sliding down and this one coming back in, right? It feels like a true slide in from below, whereas this one sounds shite. So don't do it, in my opinion. Next bit. Hard to play slow. Often harder to play slow than it is to play fast. If you're a cocky pro. But I'm not. So what we're going to do, slide it into the G with the thumb, then hit open G. You can have as much or as little of this next chord prepped as you want, but just for the sake of ease right now, we're going to go G, open G, and then we're going to put this on. 5th fret of the D, 3rd fret of the B, and 5th fret of the high E. So what's going to happen here, we're going to slide up a tone to A, back to the G, and down to F. But in the middle, we're going to have like a little low chunk like this. So what I do there, I catch like the thumb and even the muted A for that percussive chunk that I was talking about, and then back down on the G and slide to the F. You should practice that by itself if you want. Now when you get down to this position of F, if you're confused by the rhythm, you can just practice this kind of thing. Imagine a piano player playing chords just like this, like Team America, right? And they're just separating between the treble and the bass. We're doing that on the guitar all the time, but we're just doing it with one hand. We're doing it with our picking hand. We go between the bass, the treble, to give it like harmonic variation. Something confuses you, just isolate it. It's easy. So the next bit, where I think I always went wrong, was I just would play a C like this. And it felt like something was missing, and it's that 6th interval. So if you set yourself up, 3rd finger on the note C, and then these 2 fingers on the 2nd fret of the D and the G, that sounds right now. It sounds like the 6th chord that you can hear on the track. And just get your head around this rhythm. Quick hammer on from the open A to the C, and then a down up on the middle 2 strings. You can take that index finger off, go to the C. You got this pinky ready here for the back and forth on the 3rd fret of the B. So now at speed, that index finger's coming off in prep to move to the C on the B string, and you actually get this kind of like dead sound. I actually like that. I think it sounds more like the track. So, after the hammer on, of course, sorry. After that, you're going to slide on up to a D power chord, 5th fret of the A. I go root, root, 5th, root, 5th, root, 5th. So from here, and then we're going to make our way back to these double stops. Prep your index finger here from the A on the 7 to the G, so that's 3 strings, but start by hitting just the D and the G. Hammer on the 3rd finger to the 9, then take it off a 2, down to the 10, and then the 7s on the A and the D. Because you've got that index finger prepped, you don't have to move it, and you get the drone from the other ones. Then I go to a D power chord. I used to play that as an inversion of D here, which sounds nice, but I feel like just a simple power chord is way better. Then than that. Too happy. And the song's about a little wing, not a big wing. So it's quite a sad song. Pathetic. Right, I'm going to play it through slow, without any mistakes first time, in full, just for your reference. I don't think I've failed, but have I nailed it? You let me know in the comments below, as well as any other things that you would like me to try nailing or failing. Keep it clean. This is YouTube. Disgrace. Yeah, I honestly enjoy doing this kind of thing, and I love working out new stuff for students, as well as kind of going over something that I half know, whether I learned it 10 years ago, 10 months ago. I always go back through it and think, is that as good as it could be? And the answer was no. Absolutely, 100% not. It was not good enough. And it just shows you how much you've improved, how much your ear has grown. And if that was 6 months ago and you're getting on a bit like me, that's even better. We're still improving. We're still technically getting better, as well as our ear. But yeah, enough of my gob flapping. If you want tabs, Patreon, no backing track for this one because it's freeform, you don't need it. Get someone to play Glockenspiel or whatever, wheel that out into the front room, little wing, live. Charge your mates a £5 in, we'll be rolling in it. But yeah, head on over to Patreon if you want tabs and a chat and some support. I'm there for you. Grab tickets to next week's tour. You're there for me that time, okay? Enough of me being there for you. I'm tired. I'll see you at the bar afterwards. I'm not paying. I'm from the north. Anyway, I'm going. It's been good. Just good, not fun, just good. Okay. Enjoy your day. Catch you later. Oh, where's my pick? You're getting this one right between the eyes.